is.
I don't even remember what the fuck we were doing last time.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome again to Shadowrun. When last we left off, Kai had signed these people up for something. He had also discovered that his wife and child were alive, and the ring was asking him if he wanted to contact them. That was where we last left off. Also, you guys all got pierced by very sharp monofilament wire from his ring.
Where's our shekels?
Apparently, John has taken over Sekite's position. Gary's position. Gary is normally our Jewish person, but John is just deciding to play that up today, I guess. Or Nephinor. John and Nephinor have really close voices to my ears.
Wait.
Wait,
Alright.
You're letting
guys.
Chloe figure it out. Oy vey.
Can we stop with the talking like this? I'm getting very verklempt.
Oy.
Alright, so now that we've Jewished ourselves out.
Well, John actually is, or was Jewish.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, here's what we're going to do, guys.
Okay.
Kai, you're getting a question mark if you want to contact your wife and child. That we can deal with in a second. But, the rest of you, we were going to pack up, and we were going to go find Kai's brother, or we were going to go deal with that disc.
You were going to go get your shit back, remember? Yeah,
your stuff was going to come back anyway, and I can hand wave that you go to the thing. But your next step was to try to figure out what was on this disc that was so important to Kai, to Valen, and then also you do still have to either return it, and you are currently being hunted by Nirvana, which is a record company that you know of. So.
Fucking Cobain.
Mercenary group, yeah.
Yep. So, Kai, you hear beeping in your head and contact family?
So, at this point, Kai's like, this thing's a fucking liar.
I know, right?
You know what's going on in my head?
Oh, you didn't say that out loud, okay.
Okay, I thought you said it out loud.
Okay, yeah, it's just kind of like an internal monologue of, this thing is a fucking liar. And so I'm going to go ahead and say, this thing's a goddamn liar!
Out loud.
I know, right? Shit, I'm kind of remembering the shit from before.
Yeah, it identified you as a fox.
Yes.
I'm going to lean over to the Minotaur and say, is he losing it?
I think so.
Hey, can I use this? Okay, I'm going to look at Nephinor and can I just, say identify?
Identify?
Yeah.
Okay.
Identify what?
Identify species.
In other words, he's trying to identify my species.
Nephinor species?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, the thing beeps. Nephinor, you're an elf, right?
Last I checked.
And it says elf. Elven, male. Age? What age is your character?
So this thing's fucking useless. Okay, never mind.
But doesn't he look like... But isn't he an elf?
He is.
But does he look like one?
Yes. Oh, wait, is he the human-looking one? Nephinor, are you human-looking?
No, I'm elven-looking.
Yeah, no, Nephinor is clearly identifiable as an elf. He's got the pointy ears and everything.
I like my pointy ears. I don't...
He's probably got bangles all over them because that's the latest fashion for people who are just a little too proud of their elven heritage.
No, I don't go that crazy.
Oh, okay. But
Remember,
yeah.
I look like Japanese, so.
Oh, okay.
Whereas,
So yeah,
whereas Kai pretty much hides his ears.
yeah. So it goes. What age are you, Nephinor?
30.
30. Age 30. Japanese. Former connections to mafioso.
Yakuza.
Yakuza.
Holy shit, he's a youngin'.
Mm-hmm.
A youngin with connections to the Yakuza. That's not a good thing.
Maybe you should do the thing with like Otter Jesus and the others.
So you're living the thug life?
Yo.
So it seems like it's identifying him correctly.
Okay.
You can test it on the others if you need to.
We also have an unknown hand of a guy.
Yeah, that's what I was actually trying to identify.
Oh.
I wanted to get the fingerprint off the guy and see who it identifies.
Okay. So it identifies it as a dwarf male named Tarvak.
And that's it.
It runs through, and he's got a long list. He's a former Shadowrunner, if not a current Shadowrunner. He's done a ton of corporate espionage. Last known location was he became a corp, and he was a Shadowrunner for the Nirvana corporation, the Nirvana Music Corporation.
Question. I thought this ring was not supposed to work unless I was closely related to the last wearer.
Yeah. That does seem interesting, doesn't it? Which would indicate one of two things, which are
that I'm related to this guy,
or
it was pre-programmed assuming that I was going to get this ring.
actually there are now three things. The other thing would be that it doesn't work when it's attached to a previously dead hand. But yes, those are the three things you could assume from that.
There's actually a fourth thing. It could have been planted.
And there's still yet another. The whole thing about the genetic is a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's another. This whole thing could be a fucking dream.
Oh, great. Are we doing another season of Dallas here?
Okay, let's move on. Okay, so we've identified the hand as a dwarf.
Yes.
So I've got this sticking sensation. We need to get out of here.
Yeah,
and
we should
just as he says that, something explodes outside.
What was it? Can we see?
No, but it's a lot of smoke and a lot of metal and a lot of screeching.
Sounds like a good idea.
Gunfire.
Okay, I'm going to do one little thing. I'm going to take one of my grenades, my thermal smoke grenades. I'm going to put it in the hand and clasp it so that the hand holds it in a way so that if anyone disturbs the hand, it'll fall out of the hand and go off. And then put it underneath something on the table.
Okay.
So in other words, if anyone comes and disturbs it, they get a grenade in the face.
Okay.
I'm going to use I'm going to use a brick of C4 on the door.
Okay, where are we again?
You're blowing up the door?
Where are we?
It's going to be detonated by a tripwire.
Oh, okay.
You know, we could just make a run for it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, but if they follow us through the apartment, then they can just be kind of slowed down a little bit.
Huh. Alright, well. Okay, so...
Maybe we should leave after the damn fire escape.
Yeah, just... I can weld the door together
Wouldn't
with
that be the first place they're going to look?
Yeah, you know what? Let's head. We could always head right through.
We don't need the fire escape because we're on a first floor apartment.
Also, unless we know who we're fighting, it might be a bad idea to take them on. If we wind up shooting at Lone Star Security, that's very, very bad.
Just want to point out that generally Lone Star doesn't start a raid by blowing something up.
Mhm.
You would all know that.
Okay, so this isn't private security. All right, well.
This sound smells and acts more like a Shadowrunner group that's after you.
Okay, well, okay,
Well, shit.
okay, let's actually prepare a trap for them.
I believe we're starting on that.
Yeah, okay, I have radar, so I'll just keep scanning.
Okay, no one's come anywhere yet. You guys are setting up a brick of C4.
Yes.
All right.
Water.
All right. So, anyone else doing anything to the building before you bounce out the back door?
That means
I'm gonna weld some of the doors together quickly. Not it's so you can even bust it open, but I'm just using the mini welder to make it somewhat harder.
Okay.
I'll slow them down a little.
So you're doing that. Anyone else doing anything?
I'm gonna go ahead and change into a camouflage suit.
All right. So you guys.
So did we get our stuff back exactly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
we got
you
our
did.
stuff back.
We already have.
So
our
that means I've got my clothes back, so I'm wearing that now.
And I've got my happy rifle. I'm so happy.
So yes, you guys get all the stuff you need.
And I got my motorcycle back.
I can't really stealth around now since I'm carrying a whole bunch of stuff. I can't really like the body, the ring, the head implant.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Yeah.
just drop the body.
put it in the in my dumpster, and I'll bring it with me while I ride the motorcycle.
Yeah. So
Oh.
you guys make it out. I mean, the noise is such that you can quickly get out the door, and even as you're getting out the door, something explodes. And it's clear someone has tried to enter through the tripwired front door.
Oof.
You slip out.
Explosion!
Yay! You slip out through the back entryway, and you now are heading towards getting your stuff. So, what is everyone doing? Where do we want to head from here?
All right.
Okay. I think we should. Well, okay.
Well, we're going to get the stuff. The
Okay.
stuff
Well,
is happening.
I'm helping John with the body that he's carrying.
I don't need any help. I'm a 10 strength minotaur.
I'm helping you prepare to put it in my dumpster without getting stuff everywhere.
Okay, I can actually carry everything in my van, and the van
I
is.
wouldn't put that body in your dumpster because I mean, what if it starts to dissolve like the others?
That's awesome.
Yeah, the van, and even if it doesn't dissolve, the van looks inconspicuous as hell. It's
Oh, my.
you just see a big guy in a crappy looking van with dirty windows.
Yeah, that doesn't look suspicious at all.
It doesn't
Oh,
really.
this neighborhood.
Great van.
Just it's like.
Fine, I won't help you.
So wait. Are you telling me the Minotaurs had like a rape van this entire time?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So again.
Since you hadn't mentioned the rape van in forever.
Well, yeah. Okay. So okay. I go to my van, put everything in, and then quietly leave.
Okay.
Away from the
Go to
source.
my dumpster and pull out my motorcycle and hook it up to the dumpster and leave.
Okay. So no
Oh,
one
let's-
stops you. There really isn't any the police don't do anything. They don't rush the scene or anything. When you guys come in, you guys get all your equipment, and as you're doing that, everyone in the back of their heads gets a beeping voice that says, "Located, Valen."
I think we don't need to discuss where we're going to go.
All right, so you're heading to speak to Valen.
Okay.
Apparently, this is what I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
All right, so it gives you some coordinates, and the coordinates are actually across the border into the Nan lands.
Although, first of all, going right across from Redmond, you know, it's basically they don't control the border all that tightly, right? It's not like super protected, the borders.
Yeah, as long as you guys aren't like clearly smuggling drugs, they don't care. They're like whatever. No.
All right. So first of all, I'll put the head implants in the dead guy's ring, the head implant in the arm, in my home.
The question is that the weirdest shit you've got in your home?
So, okay, so apparently some people aren't getting... Oh, no, that's just somebody having their headset die. Never mind. I thought some people weren't getting our information, weren't listening. So anyway, the point of the thing is, so you put that stuff away, that's fine. You can hide it in your truck. So they're heading towards the Native American nation land.
Oh no.
And he's just crossed over. And you get a beeping in your head and it says, "Contact Valen?"
Yes.
Suddenly your head rings. It's like a telephone. And your comm link forces itself open. And Valen's voice kind of floats and he goes, "Kai, what are you doing on this channel?"
What are you doing on this channel? And, well, thanks for telling me you're alive, dickhead.
I'm sorry, there's been a bit of a mix-up. Look,
A mix-up where your fucking building exploded?
yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen, at least not with you in it.
Dude, start talking fast.
Okay, look, this is how I get a lot of support from some of the other corps. It's a game, or...
So this thing on my fucking finger is your fault?
No, yes, no, it's not. It's not my fault you decided to put it on your finger.
How the fuck would you think I'm not gonna put it on my goddamn finger when you've got a message from you after I put it on?
Wait, a message from me?
Yeah, with the don't follow the yeah, that's what I got.
No. You can't even leave messages on this thing. They're like walkie-talkies. They're not cell phones. I don't know what happened to you, but I never left you a message. I wouldn't have ever wanted you to get involved in this.
Okay, so this is somehow worse than drawing and quartering that guy in front of
It's a lot worse, actually. It's something that I was trying to get out of anyway. Look, I can't explain it over these things. They're too easy to hack. Just, here's my location. You should know it. It's my cabin. Just get your group together and come, and I'll explain everything, okay?
Yay!
Look, I promise you it'll make sense, okay? Just just don't do anything, and if anyone comes chasing after you, run. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll see you in a little bit, dick face.
Bye, douchebag. And click. So, yeah, you know exactly where the cabin is. It's just over the property. It's basically his hunting cabin.
That was strangely heartwarming.
It's a cabin in the woods.
Was it not?
Come on.
Well, it is kind of strangely heartwarming, but you only heard half of it. So all you heard was him yelling at him and then calling him a dickbag. So, anyway,
They'll be like, oh, his brother's alive.
yeah, you're aware now that his brother is alive.
It should be oddly comforting to all of you, seeing as this guy seems to be somewhat benevolent.
Yeah, but I don't really trust him because he knows shit about me. So.
Fair enough.
Let's hot rod over there.
All right.
And
So,
him knowing those things means that he might tell you.
So, as you're leaving, you get a message, and it's you may have gotten past us. That door trick was kind of okay, hold on. It's you may have gotten by us this time, but don't think you will again. The door trick was a little brilliant, though. See you later, AA.
Oh dear God, they walk straight into a fucking door trap and they think I'm brilliant. This is going to end well.
Great. So we're being chased by a bunch of idiots.
No, not again.
I thought to put the door trap there.
Murder.
They took our gems.
Wait, so where are we heading?
We're heading to see my brother in a cabin.
In the
In the
woods.
woods.
Oh, fuck. Nobody go into the basement.
If you see anything in the basement, don't pick it up.
All right.
Unless it looks like
What
fun.
do I hear in the
Especially
conch
with the
shell?
puzzle box.
All right,
I
guys.
want to listen to the
You're
conch
still out
shell.
here right now.
So you get out there, and you basically, it's a cabin. It's not that well guarded, but it's far enough out that you essentially you get out there. And meanwhile, this AA guy is just like trash talking the shit out of you over the comms. And you just don't know what's going on, but he seems to be like, yeah, you're my next target, so keep your eye out, basically.
Yeah,
And what?
Yeah. Neff, can you hack him to figure out who the fuck this guy is?
Neff can try. Again, this is equivalent to a walkie-talkie, guys.
I'm not going to be doing that while we're out in the middle of the nowhere anyway.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, you pass out of the matrix. You guys are essentially matrixless, and you get up into the cabin, and there's Valen, and he's looking much more relaxed. He's kind of dressed down, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're all right. I'm so sorry. I don't know how you managed to get the ring, but come inside. We need to talk."
I'd say that we do.
You're gonna punch him, right?
Punch him! Punch him in the neck!
In the nads! In the nads!
All right. So here's does he punch you? Is there any punching involved?
No.
All right.
We learned long ago that fighting with each other was pointless.
That's what I figured, but go right ahead if you want to. So Valen just basically goes, all right, you weren't supposed to be involved in this. I've been trying to get information on your wife and your child. And to get it, I had to play a game. And it's basically a human chess game. And basically I hire a group of Shadowrunners who run under my name and who wear those rings, and they do stuff for me.
Tell me, if this is a group of, if this is, human chess, what piece are we?
You weren't supposed to be any piece, Kai, but currently you're my king.
Oh, crap.
Oh, yeah, great. I can do nothing. Fuck you, Kai. Fuck you, Phelan. Yeah, fuck me, too.
Well, no, you can you can do something, but I'm not allowed to use you on certain missions. In general, you're one of my higher pieces, though.
Nice.
You're their target. If they eliminate you, I get eliminated from the game.
Okay.
And by eliminated, I mean eliminated from the game.
I'm pretty sure I've been in the business long enough to know what eliminated means.
Well, I just wanted to make sure. You are being fucked with slowly as your nervous system is being rewritten by a piece of machinery. Don't know what's going on in there.
Great. All right, so the least you could do is tell us what the fuck is up with this damn disc, since it seems to be somewhat unimportant now.
Well, actually, no, that's very important. The disc is, well, it's actually the hot potato. It's, if I get that, I win the round. But to answer your question, it's Jet Black's last recording. It's very important for Nirvana, and if I get it, I get to get a little bit of information out of them in exchange for it.
So there's 3 levels of encryption on a fucking last album?
That's the thing. We don't know. I can't believe there's 3 levels of encryption for a song. That's why...
Nothing more, tell them what you know.
I relay the information about the levels of encryption that I've encountered so far, and the fact that the last one is not so easy to get rid of.
Interesting. As I was told, all it was is a data disk containing a couple of songs that were never released.
I doubt that.
As do I.
Give them the
You don't put this much encryption on a song.
Go ahead and give him the disc.
Kai picks up the disc, looks it over. I can always give it to him and get more information, but honestly, I'm interested now. Is there anything I should know? Besides what you've told me?
I don't know. We don't know anything about this damn disc. The only thing that we know is that we tried to bring the disc to you to play it. Your building blows up, and we wound up in my fucking apartment trying to save some chick from your office.
Oh, yes, she called me.
Oh,
Sorry
great. She
about
called
that.
you. How quaint.
Yeah. Look, and you can see he's actually been patched up. Like, there's new skin forming on his neck. So he was clearly injured.
Okay. Awesome. You look better than before, bro.
Thanks. Alright, look. The next person who's going to target this is probably going to be the Ares Corp representative.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm not shitting you.
I thought you and Damien had a fucking arrangement.
We had an arrangement, and up until you got involved in this, I was okay with the arrangement. The arrangement was that the Ares are not going to try to kill you. They are going to try to incapacitate you and take this disc. Now, hopefully, if I can get this over to Nirvana quick enough, nothing will happen. But for the moment, we're in kind of a bind. Nirvana's representative has gone unresponsive within the last 24 hours.
I think it should. Let's just say let's keep the disc in Nirvana. Let's just say this might be a trap. Just saying.
It's a trap!
Okay.
What hell is the trap?
It's probably a good idea from this point moving on that you let me know more about what the fuck you're doing.
All right, let's start at the beginning. I think your wife and child are alive. I think Aztec Corp has them.
Dude, I'm serious. Joking right now, not a good idea.
Not joking. They're alive. Azis have them.
Who has them?
Azis. Aztecs? You know the Megacorp? Aztecs?
As technology is basically the nastiest of the megas, in that they engage in human sacrifice and shit like that.
Oh.
Look.
Shit. I'm just whispering to John and John's character. Like he's got a wife and kid, and the Azzy's got him.
I don't know how they're alive. I don't know why they're alive. I don't know how they could still be alive unless this genetic. And he motions to his ears essentially. Is everyone got it, which would be a miracle, but they are alive, and the Azzies have them. And I've been trying for the last 3 years to get them out. That's why I got involved in this game. But I know you, and I know what you would do if you found out. So I've been keeping it from you so I can just get them out without everything blowing up.
So you waited until you could tell me that they're alive and also being held by a group of the basically savage people in uniform.
They're not supposed to... it was supposed to be when I could deliver them to you. By then I'd have at least some amount of control in Az technology, and then I could just get them out, and we wouldn't have to stage some kind of rescue mission. I was hoping to do it... I know they're safe. I know they're not being tortured. I don't know why they're being held.
So Kai's face just kind of glosses over to being even more emotionless than previously.
I was trying to save you the pain of finding out where they'd been.
Where have they been? They've been with the Azzies the whole time?
No, I don't know where they've been before, but I do know that the last I heard of them before the Aztecs got a hold of them was in the care of a... He kind of stops.
Well, you've gone too far to stop now.
The care of a toxic shaman.
Out of game definition, please.
Oh, definition. They serve the toxin spirits,
Basically,
which are...
Basically, it's a shaman, but instead of the normal spirits, earth, air, fire, water, man, plant, it derives its powers from spirits like corruption, decay, abomination, radioactive, and then the worst of them are the sterilists, who are basically, it's a shaman of death.
Yeah,
And toxic shamans are at best. They're not necessarily evil as much as every single one of them is insane, and the best of them are not evil. They are insane, dangerous, and like really, really destructive and crazy. That's the best of them.
it was a death spirit that he served.
Ooh, sterilist shaman?
Yeah. Oh, no. Do you say that out loud?
Sterilist shaman. My character wouldn't actually know that much about shamans.
It was a death spirit he served, and they were to be sacrifices. I don't know where they were before, but the Azzies saved them, but maybe only... I don't know. I don't know why the Azzies have them. That's what this round was for. I was going to get the information.
Well, then it seems rather vital that we win this round, don't you think?
Indeed. The only way to do that is to go up against the Ares representative. Which
Who's Damien's rep?
Damien's rep is named Archon. He's a battle-hardened rigger. He seems to have lost his charismatic. Like, he seems almost taken aback now that he's having to answer these questions. I don't know much about him other than he's very good tactically. He's incredibly good with his machines. And he's the leader of a group of 4 others, all of whom pretty much function in the shadows. I've never actually gotten enough information on them to pin them together.
Wait, are you saying we're dealing with a mechanized unit?
Among other things, yes. He has a mage, and I know he has at least 1 street samurai. But other than that, I don't know names, I don't know faces, I don't know anything. They're very good at sticking to the shadows. He tends to use his mechs mostly in battle. If he can get in and out quickly and destroy the units, he doesn't need to use anyone else.
Okay.
Yeah. The fact of the matter is, I don't know if he's even taken out the representative for Nirvana. If he's done that, then there's no way for us to win.
Also, what other representatives are there?
There's 1 from every megacorp, 1 from Nirvana, 1 from a couple of the tier elven companies, and then I think Lone Star is in on this. At least their Texas brigade.
Anybody important besides Nirvana and Ares?
All of the megacorps.
Hmm.
Except, like, no, Greenie, the Greenies are in on it too. Takes you a second, you're not sure which company he means, and then you realize it's the Elven one. ST is blanking on the name.
All right.
This is basically a big, huge Shadowrunner chess game, and the ultimate prize. Well, the ultimate prize is pretty much. Basically, Aztec has sponsored this, and they are trying to get us to play their game because they supposedly have a technology they want to share with 1 other company. They've told me that the reason I should play is because it involves your daughter and your wife. As for the rest, Lord only knows how the other megacorps work.
Okay, so we have 2 options. We can either first figure out what's on the rest of the disk, or we can basically just give the disk to Valen.
I think at this point, again, Valen, no matter how good he is, he's just one guy. If he dies, or gets captured, or gets the disc stolen, we're fucked.
Well, if he gets killed or captured anyway, we're fucked.
But we have absolutely no chance of it makes him a bigger target with the disc.
I'm going to point out that part of the rules of the game is that you're not supposed to actually kill the heads of the companies who are interacting with each other. So, while the representative for Nirvana is gone, it's not like the head of Nirvana is gone. I'm technically out of bounds for the game.
Okay, so we could.
It sounds like Acon could be reasoned with.
Archon,
whatever.
Yeah, Archon Ares, yeah, he tends to be good at being reasoned with. He's really mostly in this for the fun, and they almost never use lethal means unless, lethal means have been used first.
Okay,
He's a good runner. Wish I'd gotten him on my team.
So basically this guy, he's gonna more likely try to use theft, infiltration, stealth rather than outright attack.
Like I said, really good at his really good at doing the whole in-out thing. He's good at strategy. So yeah, if he's not going to kill you. If he can't help if he's going to kill you, it's only going to be because he can't help it.
Does he typically avoid combat as much as possible?
Typically, yes. Have you had any interaction with him previously?
We don't know.
Alright, I guess he's kind of a corporate runner now, so he might not be down on the streets. But yeah, generally that's how he is. That isn't to say he won't kill, it's to say that he likes to avoid killing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to be able to put him off the scent, though, as his boss has just as much reason to want to get this disc as anyone else. Damien is pretty cutthroat.
So I have to ask a question. Do we know that we are Kai's chosen team at this point?
Kai's kind of been... You guys know? No. You know that something was inserted in you, but so far he hasn't indicated that you guys are anything like the team. Though out of character, yeah, at this point it's a little obvious, isn't it?
So I think it's starting to sink in to all of us at this point that we've been dragged into this shit.
Yeah, I could say that you don't have to hold the idiot ball on that one. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I'm probably not happy.
Well, express that not happiness.
Wait. You mean to tell me that we went from a simple Shadowrun of obtaining a disc, and now we're in some kind of fucking death match against other Shadowrunners?
You're telling me that you call yourself a Shadowrunner and you didn't anticipate this kind of shit to go sideways?
You have a point.
The answer is yes. You are essentially going from a simple run to a death match. I was hoping to get a runner to jump Darius so that I can just get the stupid disc, but I guess it didn't work that way. What happened? How did you find that ring? I would like to know the other side of this story, please.
Well, it's very interesting. As we got the nice young lady away from harm, and we dispatched 3 of the, I think, 4. I was shot by a fucking pioneer.
A pioneer?
Yeah, somebody who had a black powder round. I dug a black powder round out of a fucking wall.
A black...
As I found out where it came from, a group of rats led me to this hand that had this fucking ring on it.
Black powder round... I don't know anyone in the competition who uses black powder. Generally, we have some stats on what to expect. A hand with a ring on it?
Yeah, it was a dwarven hand.
Dwarven hand.
Okay.
Wait, what was the name?
I forgot the name already.
Targat.
Okay.
So wait. Okay. So I pull the stuff out of the truck and show him the hand.
You do not show him the hand. The hand is back at the apartment with a grenade in it, remember?
Yes, it is.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, so the guy's hand is gone. Okay.
I still got the information in the ring, though.
Yeah, so you can easily pull it up and it says Targat. No. Oh, no. That was my rigger. He was the best there was. he seems kind of distraught, but in like this very disconnected way. Like, oh no, somebody like dented my car. He's just like, I cannot believe he got caught.
Real way to be concerned for humanity there, brother.
Sorry, he signed up for this one.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, out of character, rigger?
A rigger is someone who,
Tech nut.
they're tech nuts. They physically control drones via their mind. They're kind of the sturdier, more more mechanically minded hacker, basically.
Remember that guy at the beginning that we blew up and had the drone that hit it, blew into the outhouse? Him.
Yeah. So they basically they hook their minds directly into. Yeah, they're a drone hacker. So you're going up against a drone hacker, and the rigger, that the dwarf was a rigger, so he's also a drone hacker.
So
Okay.
now we don't have a drone hacker, do we?
No, you don't. So.
Oh, shit.
Hey, if you have a problem with drones, I can,
I have a question.
Yes?
Would my father be helpful at all?
Your father? Well, he's not involved in it, but he could offer some protection. Yes. Honestly, until we can figure out a way to get to Archon's, get it through Archon's head that something wonky is going on, that may just be the only way for you to stay protected. I mean, he's not able to go out of Seattle, but neither are you, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
and right now, the better protection is an RPG.
So, what should you do right now?
Right now? Well, you have to go back to Seattle soon. That thing's going to start a countdown. The longer you're outside of Seattle, the shorter that countdown gets. There's an auto kill switch to keep you guys from running.
What?
Can you...
What?
Well, look, normally you've signed a waiver at this point, and clearly this is not something you should have done. I don't know why Kai signed you up for this, but essentially the monofilaments injected you with nanos, and yeah, they're an auto kill switch. Look, they do other things too. They can give you short bursts of energy. They can sharpen your skills slightly. It's basic nanotechnology. But yeah, they'll start eating your heart from the inside out, or dissolving you, depending on how they set it. I just do a quick volt, but I don't ever use the kill switch, honestly. I don't like to think I'm actually going to kill the people under my command.
So how do we get
Thanks for
out
that
of this?
heartwarming sentiment.
You're welcome. I've had to do much worse than this, and I'm sorry you have to find this out. He seems a little sour at the thought. You don't get it out of you. I mean, maybe major surgery could pull out all the nanos, but at this point, it's either you play the game or you try to hide from the game for as long as possible.
Okay, well, I guess we have to play.
Yeah, I start shouting obscenities in Japanese and just kind of off to myself.
Invisible walls. Ha ha ha, John.
Choo choo, chicka 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 choo choo.
Well, no, there are other ways to get around this, but honestly...
Yeah, well, I don't really think that an EMP would be one of the things that I really want with all my implants.
No. Now, out of character, as for that chugga 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 chugga, there's a way, and it's coming up, so stop.
Okay.
All right.
Alright, so here's the deal. Not everything's doom and gloom. You get to choose when you participate, and especially since you haven't signed up for this exactly, I'm going to give you an out. There's a lot of runs that are just for fun, and you're going to get them and you can decide to take them or leave them. That's whatever. The only ones that you're really going to have to do are the ones I order you to do. And honestly, all I want is to get information on Kai's family. So 9 times out of 10, it's just going to be optional for you to do what I ask of you. Okay? You can keep running, and except for the fact that you've kind of dived in the middle of a round and therefore are being auto-locked into this, you're really not going to have to participate. I have other groups, and as long as you aren't dedicated as my kings for the round like you are now, you shouldn't be bothered by them. Okay? So it's not all doom and gloom. It's just right now you're in a really bad spot. You've kind of been forced into this, and I'll be willing to pay you handsomely for anything you do. But at the moment, all you have to do is stay alive, avoid Archon, and get that either to Nirvana in my stead, or figure out what it is so that I can use it to get more information out of Nirvana. Because this is...
You said Archon was reasonable and he could deal with, and so if we could indicate to him that there's something going wrong with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can't risk getting too close to him.
Exactly. And the other thing is, I mean, I'm sure he's been sending you messages, but really that's just a taunt feature in the rings. You can't reply back to them. If you could figure out who Archon is and find him and discuss with him, he may be able to call off the attack.
Wait, was he the idiot who walked right into a door trap?
I don't know. Is he still alive?
We don't know. We just know someone walked into a door and told us that we were brilliant for thinking of it.
That may have been him. He's very intelligent, but there's a little bit less wisdom in that one. I don't know. Maybe it was one of his friends. Again, if you walk into a door trap, you're probably going to be dead. Maybe it was one of his bots?
I'm pretty sure Nethanor understood like the Japanese swearing, probably. And it was probably something about your mother's vagina is larger than Godzilla's or something.
Okay. Look, Archon is reasonable, and if you can get to him, he can tell Damien that he's calling off the raid. Again, this is not something he has to do for Damien, and Damien, if he understands that you've gotten involved, would do the same. But I can't contact Damien as long as the two of us are engaged with each other. It's just not how that works.
All right, then we need to figure out where we're gonna go.
Look, I know.
Where's the best place to set up a remote call for Archon?
Best place.
Somewhere where he will get the message.
You may want to try one of the runner bars. I know that outside of his corporate involvement with the chess game, he's essentially a normal runner just like everyone else.
Okay, and another important thing is I don't think we really want to let anyone else in on what we're doing.
Then we need to have an encrypted message for him.
Yeah, we need to figure out a way to get to him without anybody without broadcasting it to every other team.
Well, then Nethanor can easily set up a.
Has a wife.
This is interesting.
He kind of chokes that out, like, yeah, none of us are supposed to actually know about it, but unfortunately some of the information I came across, there was a single message. He's incredibly protective of her. not going to let you. I'm not going to tell you what to do with that information. But he has a wife, and if you really want to get to him fast, that'd be a way. But that would also put you on his bad side immediately. He kind of goes over and he picks up a stick and he basically hands it to them. This is all the information I have on him.
Okay.
So
Don't know his name, it's his name, but I don't know where he is. I don't know anything other than where his wife lives, and I know that when he's running, he's separate from her.
Okay. So what do we have on him? Really?
Okay. Well, do you slot it in?
Yeah.
Okay. So his runner name is the only thing he has on him, which is Archon Ares, and the information goes along the lines of he's originally from the Lone Star, he's originally from the Republic of Texas. He he moved up here for a better job with Lone Star. He became a runner after being discharged. He has a wife, but the wife continues to live in a really upscale neighborhood. He works a lot of jobs on the side, but he uses aliases, so they don't know what the actual name is. He does know the wife frequents, she goes to her job in a corporation, she does her work, she comes home. They have a daughter, there's a whole bunch of stuff, right? You know his address, or at least the address where his wife lives. He's always listed as being away on business when he's out on a run. So, Archon, meanwhile, is sending you messages like, yeah, okay. You guys realize you're not supposed to leave Seattle, right? That's kind of cheating. Get your asses back here. Face me like a man.
Okay, I send a message back. There's something more to this.
Oh, you're trying to send it over the ring?
Actually, no. Never mind. It's a bad idea.
Send it over the ring.
It's a bad idea to contact him at this point because he might be using it to try to figure out where we are.
I'm pretty sure that the ring would be able to do that by itself.
Figure out where he is?
And we're also outside the area, so...
Yeah, but I'm saying if the ring was made for a competition, it wouldn't just tell you where the other guy is.
Right, but he can tell that we're outside the range, so it's got the location on it.
Yeah, he's essentially saying, okay, his ring is telling him you can guess that you are not within the playfield. Yeah. So he's trying to find out where you are, essentially.
All right.
So I'm going to send him a message that he needs to pick up some information at a local what's a good abandoned side of town?
There's the
Redmond Barrens.
There's the Barrens.
Okay. Well,
that's basically where all the gangers hang out.
Yeah, we should be able to deal with that pretty easily. I'm going to give him the address of like some building that seems really vacant.
Okay, you've slummed around the Barrens a little, and you know there's like this one vacant place. Yeah. So
I've got some information for us. So I'm going to tell him that I've got some information for him, and I'll give him the drop location later.
There's a pause between the messages, and he goes, "What kind of information would a target have for me?"
The kind of information that can make a target a hunter.
A longer pause, and he says, "What exactly do you mean?"
Just Fuck this guy. Just go to the goddamn drop point.
All right, fine. So he goes, all right, fine. I'll meet you there. So are you guys heading back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not supposed to be meeting this guy. We've just got some information to drop off. We're supposed to go to the building first. That's what my intentions are, at least.
Yeah,
Right.
no, he understands that.
I'm just saying if he has any shred of intelligence, he's gonna be monitoring that building constantly.
I didn't give him the building. I said I'd give him the drop point later.
Oh, okay.
So you guys head back and you enter into the city and you go to the Barrens and you drop off the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're going through the Barrens, you see that there are drones kind of flying around just overhead, which seems a little weird.
Gonna need to keep my truck then, because otherwise it would be very obvious.
Right. So you get there, and yeah, it's an abandoned building. There's a few ghouls kind of hanging around, but they seem to be the semi-intelligent ghouls. So they just kind of look you up and down, and they slump away.
Okay.
Semi-intelligent, you said?
Yeah. So there's basically two types of ghouls. They follow the Fallout 3 mechanics. There's the completely feral ghouls, and then there are the ghouls that have retained some shred of intellect and sentience and just eat humans.
Yeah.
So these seem to be the human-eating kind that can still have a conversation with you as they eat your brain. So
Ew.
That's bad. This means that someone might have seen the drop.
well, has he dropped? Because they just kind of noticed a bunch of people moving around and just left.
Okay, good. Never mind. Never mind.
Okay, so how many entrances does this place have?
It has 5.
Okay.
If you count the holes in the sides of the buildings.
All right.
Okay.
It has 2 doors, 3 holes, 1 on the second floor, 2 on the lower floor.
Okay, so let's go ahead and just walk through the front entrance.
You enter in, and yeah, it's basically a hangout for Shadowrunners between jobs, or if they're trying to wait for things to cool down. So you actually, you know that the back room is, kitted out as a safe house, and that most of the other rooms are just ruins.
Okay. Let's make our way back to the safe house area.
Okay? So into the safe house you go. It's one room with a kitchen and a couch and a TV. It's essentially a small hotel room.
Okay. I'm assuming that all this information is on like a flash stick, right?
Yeah, all the information you have on Archon is on a flash stick, yes.
Okay. I guess perception check, and I'm looking for like hidden areas that are easily accessible but easily overlooked.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Okay, 7 hits.
Okay, so yeah, you know that there's a little safe box under the counter, and kind of taped under the counter, and there's a button combo that every Shadowrunner who uses this place knows, and you can easily punch that in and just kind of slip the disc in there, and it's going to be safe until somebody with the code comes by and punches it through.
Okay. I wasn't so much looking for that as I was looking for, like, I don't know, a hole in the wall.
Oh, a hole in the wall? Yeah, there's a couple of holes in the walls that, people store stuff in. There's the condom hole, which is, like, tucked off to the side, and then you've got a couple of other holes that are, like, you put the remote in here, and that's the remote hole. So, yeah, there's a couple of those.
Okay. I'm going to, is there a light switch?
Yeah, there's a light switch.
Does it look
Okay,
like it's
holes.
adequately attached?
Like it's adequately attached?
Yes. Does it look like it's been, like, ripped out of the damn wall or anything?
Yeah, it looks like a couple times there have been some rippage.
Is there a ceiling fan in here?
There is a ceiling fan, sorta. It used to be a ceiling fan.
Okay, let's hide the let's hide the stick inside, like, a disconnected. Make sure that the power wire is disconnected from one of the sockets.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. You can do that. There's a couple of those that are actually a thing. So
Why
go
are
ahead and.
Why are we just giving him all the information on his family?
Do what?
What are you giving him exactly?
I'm giving him the information that he needs to know.
Okay. So yeah, you can have that on a stick. So yeah.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and, make like ghosts.
Okay. So you slip it in there and
Unless
you
one of
get
you guys
out.
has something else you want to do.
Nope. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay. So you can easily slip it into like one of the wall sockets and off you go. All right. Do you send him the information?
We need to go first. Like, we need to go
Oh.
away from this building before we call him.
Yeah, should we head back into a different part of town?
Anybody else have a safe house since mine was destroyed?
Yes, I do.
No, but I am sort of squatting in an empty building.
I have a catacomb maze.
I have my dumpster.
I
Just-
have a maze.
Just so you're aware, Kai, yours wasn't so much destroyed as it just has a small amount of blackening from the C4.
Wait, you don't know what kind of C4 I used, did you?
No, I assumed it was just going to be enough to like.
Assuming makes an ass out of you and me.
You don't know I would have flattened that building. But okay.
I assumed your safe house had like titanium walls, dude.
Okay, you're giving me more credit than I took.
Dude, I've played with enough people, the owner of the name of the villain included, who, yeah, they spend hours. So I assumed you just sat down and you had like titanium walls. I apologize. No titanium walls?
No, I wasn't gonna spend my money on that shit.
Titanium walls would suck.
So I just destroyed your safe house by accident. I'm sorry.
No, I kind of really intended to do that in the first place.
Okay.
I wanted whatever came to that damn building to die.
This is turning into a Michael Bay film.
Explosions. Shadowrun.
To get the quote, if explosions don't solve all your problems, you aren't using enough, like this group. Yeah, that would be Archon.
I didn't get a chance to use that explosive until now, so I felt like I was owed something. Damn it!
All right, fine. Your entire building was flattened.
Okay, so you know what? I would say either my abandoned the abandoned building I'm squatting in, or Ragnar's maze.
Yeah, it's underneath the Redmond Barrens, basically, and it's.
All right, let's go to this maze thing.
All right.
Is it cozy?
No.
Is it easily escapable?
Yes.
Good.
It's It's easy to enter, easy to exit, and unfortunately, it's haunted. Which means that anybody trying to use any sort of magical detection, they're gonna pick up on all the ghosts.
Well,
Yay me!
Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna use that while I'm in there, because that's gonna be spooky.
Yes, it's spooky.
So why exactly is it fucking haunted? Is it because it's catacombs?
Because it was a bunch of sewer tunnels that are now not used during the day of, what was the day? The day of wrath, is that the word?
The Day of Wrath, yes.
Yeah, it was where the bodies of all the quote non-humans who were burned, and that's where the bodies they didn't burn were just put there to rot. The bodies have long since rotted away. Unfortunately, they're haunted, which makes it really good defensively.
So do you at least have a nice, cozy, like Minotaur-sized bed in there?
Yes, obviously.
So, you guys head to the safe house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get to the safe house, you settle down, and, do you finally tell Archon where to find the information?
Yes.
And what information exactly are you giving him?
The information, crap. The information of the Nirvana executive disappearing.
Okay. Anything else?
Let's take a vote on this, because I'm not going to be the only one that makes a decision.
So
So
we have the Nirvana agent
Why are we giving him information to begin with exactly? So that he can take the disc, or what?
No, it's because if he thinks there's something, if he thinks that something's fishy about this, he's a lot more likely to back off.
So are we going to hold him captive and tell him things, or
No.
what?
No, I
We're
don't
trying-
think this is a kidnapping mission. I think you're literally just setting up an info drop.
We're
Okay.
Yes,
What
that's
are we
all
telling him
we're-
exactly?
That is all we're doing, is setting up an info drop.
Okay. So are we going to tell them about your kids or whatever, your kid and your wife?
No, he does not need to know about my wife or kids.
Okay, so then why are we contacting him?
Because he needs to know that the Nirvana rep has disappeared.
Oh, okay.
So is that the only thing you're doing, or you're also going to tell him that you guys did not sign up for this?
Tell him that we got into this involuntarily.
We were shanghaied into it, basically.
Mostly.
All right. Mostly. All right. So, it doesn't take even 10 minutes after you've given that drop information for him to be contacting you, and he says, "I'm going to call you by comm. This is my number."
Okay, so we can leave the safe house now, I guess.
Why do we? Oh, but I kind of wanted to just.
We don't want him to trace the call.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
I wanted to know a description of the damned catacombs.
Okay, so
I get the feeling that the catacombs will come up later.
yeah, it's a you deliberately chose it because it's almost impossible to invade. It would be insane to attack it.
All right. So, you guys
Let's-
go to a place where he can't trace the signal.
Okay.
And-
That's good enough.
The phone rings almost immediately.
Okay. Hello.
Hi. You hear a man with a broad, like, Texas accent. Probably late 20s, latest. And he goes, "Hi. So, A, the Nirvana rep is not my work. I don't really do the whole kidnapping thing. And B, what's this about you getting into this involuntarily?
We were assigned a mission to search for a disc.
Right, the disc with like Jet Black's last recording on it.
Yes. Through circumstances, I actually had to put the ring on. This basically shanghaied us into this service. What you need to know is that the Nirvana Corp disappeared, who was basically the goalpost.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that kind of thing. He seems genuinely upset. And you do realize that it's pretty hard to Shanghai someone into this. They have to have your rings coded to your genetics.
Well, I guess someone coded this shit to my genetics because I have no idea how this actually functioned. I put it on, and it said, "Hi, motherfucker, you're playing."
Something's wrong. There's a shuffling in the background, and he talks to someone in the background, and then he goes, "All right, look, I'm gonna call off the mission for the moment. No targeting you, but I'm also gonna look into this because if somebody's moving the goalposts on us, then this game is getting a lot weirder than I was led to believe it was. I don't know what you're gonna do, but you don't have to worry about me."
Okay. Do we know that As Technology was the one who set up the game?
Yes, you were told that.
Okay, we tell him that.
Yeah, of course I knew that. Ares hosted the last one. It's not that big a deal.
Wait, hold on. Could somebody use the magic ability to like touch stuff and see the past of it on the ring, or
Yeah, you could.
would that help?
Yes, it might.
Is it gonna make Kai feel funny because he doesn't like that?
The ring is now part of your cyberware. It won't make you feel funny, but it is considered part of your cyberware. So be warned.
You're just gonna tap into what Kai is looking at.
Yeah. Like, it depends on how far they go back, but your cyberware is considered part of you.
Okay, that tells me something that cyberware can be affected by magic.
Yes, it can, but yes, there is a little bit of magitech, but usually when you combine electronics and magic, it doesn't end well. It usually just results in failure. Occasionally you'll get something that works but has a massive drawback.
I am not going to let you, do your magic thing on me, especially the last time when you critically glitched. And stabbed yourself.
Yeah.
Archon, meanwhile, says, "But the thing is, you're still considered my target, and I have to work within Damien's rules. I'll try to get him to back off, but you have maybe 48 hours before I have to get back on your trail."
Okay.
Okay. Nice knowing you.
All right. So
where should we take this disc now? And that sounds like it's going to be a problem. Somebody's looking for it.
Something on your ring pops up, and it says, "Where was the last time you? What was the last contact you had with Nirvana?"
Do I know who's contacting me?
Yeah, it says AA. This
okay.
is
Argon?
Yeah.
All right. Concert. Concert for what's his name? The troll.
Actually, we were we got into a fight with some of the goons from
Nabu. Yeah, Nabu.
We also got into a fight with some of the goons with Nirvana Records a while ago, but it seemed like someone was controlling them through cyberware in Magic. Weren't the security guards Nirvana
Wait.
Records that we fought with? The security guards.
Do you respond to Archon through that?
I'm saying. I'm just asking. Were the
Yes,
security?
those were.
Yes, I was.
Also, tell him about the guy who disappeared in the camos, the chameleon suit.
Yeah, that shit.
Okay, the chameleon suit is one of the referees, and generally they're meant to take out people interfering.
Okay.
As for Nirvana, yeah, controlling them through magic and cyberware.
It would be kind of more possible than through magic tech. Using magic and cyberware simultaneously would work. So
There's a long pause and types back. Yeah, something's really wrong. I think you're going to want to meet me. And he drops his number. He says, "You can come by any time. Just give me a call. Here's where my safe house is. I think we need to talk face to face." And
One-on-one?
One-on-one. And then he puts out a message, because enhancing your characters enhancing or controlling your pieces once they're on the field is strictly forbidden.
All right.
Okay, we come unarmed, and it's just you and me.
Yeah, and I make sure to bring the head implant, the dead guy's ring, and the guy in the chameleon suit, the body.
All right. So, who's going exactly?
So, you know what? Let's see here.
Because apparently Kai thinks it's just him and Marcus.
It's
Archon.
It's at least if we're going inside the building, it's just me and him. But I mean, everybody else is.
Yeah, I should again. I'm the one who currently. I'm going to bring the head implant and the dead guy's ring in the body. So.
Yeah, Ragnar, you should definitely go because you're all stealthy and shit.
Yeah, and if shit goes wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I bring the stuff in the van. I say everyone else come along and hide inside the pedo van. And in
Okay,
case,
I'm hiding in your pedo van.
You don't have to hide; just stand outside. It's not like
Yeah, guard the entrance. Guard everything.
Right.
Okay.
So, you guys drive up and you find yourself in front of what appears to be this.
Mhm.
Well, it's a brick building that looks like it's seen better days, but it's still standing, which is more than what you can say for everything else around here. So our little technomancer over here would actually sense, and the mage would actually sense that same kind of strange feeling. And they don't, like, somebody's been using it heavily around this area, and it's actually starting to seep into the area.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is a little weird, isn't it?
Is Nephenor the only one that perceives it?
I would probably perceive it as well, considering I've got magic, wouldn't I?
Well, Andrew would perceive it, Nephenor would perceive it, Rachel would perceive it. John and Darth, you'd kind of be in the dark on this one. So, everyone who's coming in, say aye, please.
Hi.
Let's just leave it to Dark Star. I think
Let's just wait outside. Let's just wait outside in case, and Darkstar can send us a message
yeah, and
if shit goes down.
I'm sure to hand him the head implant and the head implant, the body, and the ring on the dead guy's finger. Actually, I'm waiting on the roof of the building.
All right, guys. So you're gonna go ahead and hold on while I deal with Kai and Archon. Okay.
You know what? I'll be on the damn roof with Ragnar as well.
All right.
So all of you would be able to see at least the interactions because you're able to find a place where you can look in the window and you can see that there's actually a dude and he's doing this weird thing where he keeps touching the thin air.
All right.
Like he's tapping on something. And then something pops up for you on your ring and it says, "Come on in, leave the others outside."
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna walk in. Perception check.
Perception check. The place is teched out like crazy, with a clearly feminine touch. There's piece of rigging parts everywhere. There's pieces of rigging parts everywhere, and no danger. Just it looks like a hideout. In the living room is a gentleman with sort of a standard haircut for the age and time, Lone Star looking haircut. Okay?
Okay.
He's standing in the middle of the room and he kind of greets you, but you can tell he's a little distracted and he keeps kind of swishing things around him. Almost like he's selecting matrix icons, but you're connected to the matrix and there's nothing really there.
Okay.
Anyway, he says, "Come on in, sit down."
So I come on in, just tell them I actually prefer to stand, but thank you for the offer.
All right, suit yourself. Look, here's the thing. I don't know what the person who got you into this told you, but you're not really supposed to be fighting against people who are cybered up in major ways. I mean, you can get street samurais, don't get me wrong, but well, explain to me exactly what happened.
We found a hand in a building after having been shot at by a black powder rifle.
Black powder rifle?
Yes. The hand
Okay.
contained one of these rings.
So, of course, you put the ring on.
Well, in order to figure out what it was, yes.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And then you accepted the terms and conditions.
Oh, there was no terms and conditions.
There was no terms and conditions?
No, we signed nothing.
But you accepted and got your entire group in on as a team.
If that's what we're required to get information, I had no idea what I was agreeing to.
Perfect. Wonderful. Great. Hold out your hand.
Hold out my hand.
All right. He passes his hand over the ring, and the ring starts to beep in your ear. Yeah, that's pretty well and truly stuck on you. You did accept the terms and conditions, by the way. Nobody ever reads those, so don't worry about it. He kind of turns your hand over. And you're a king. Of course you are. Okay, well, here's the deal. You mentioned something about a group being controlled when they attacked you.
Yes.
He's continuing to kind of move his hand over the ring, and the ring is shuddering. Like, you can literally feel all the tendrils in your body just shifting under your skin disconcertingly. He doesn't even seem to be noticing he's doing it, continuing the little finger flicker in the air every now and again. Well, the rules of the game, at least for us, is you're not allowed to hop yourself up on drugs. You need to be completely sober. And you're not allowed to have any enhancements which are controlled by anyone other than you. So
I gave Kai the head implant I ripped from the guy's skull as we walked in, before he walked in, so he can show the.
Well, then how do you explain this thing? So I hand him the implant.
interesting. And almost immediately he's dropped your hand and he's sitting there and he's moving his hands over and he's got like a soldering iron and a kit from out of nowhere and he's moving the tech around. And he's just like, this is fascinating. Hold on, I've got to talk to my godhead. Just give me a second. And he goes blank. His eyes kind of roll up in the back of his head. You're given about 5 seconds where he's not doing anything, and he just comes back and he goes, this is something not even he's seen. And moving his hands over the tech again, he starts... by the way, you guys are feeling just wave after wave of that disconcerting magic that's just coming from him.
Have I been made aware of the existence of this wave of magic?
Vaguely. You know that your technomancer uses it, but you don't feel a thing.
I mean, I don't feel it, but I know about the sensation that others are feeling.
I don't know. Have they informed you?
I don't know.
Pissed, guys. Have you been informing him about the feeling of magic coming off this guy? Rachel, Neff, and Nor.
Oh my goodness, it's so disconcerting.
I guess I don't know about it, so go ahead.
Nope. Okay, so no one's giving you that information, so all you're seeing is a guy who's, like, clearly hacking into this piece of technology without a deck. Anyway. Well, it seems...
remember that we learned that Neff was a techno earlier, so it's not.
No, it's not that big a deal, but I don't think Kai is putting two and two together because he hasn't been told about the magic feeling. So he kind of glances up and he goes, well, okay, here's the deal. This is an implant that basically allows someone to control their mind. Yes. I have never seen this before. Look at this. He kind of motions you over.
Okay, so I walk over there.
Okay, and he points to this little teeny tiny crystal thing in the middle. He says, you see this?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't technology. This is magic.
Wait, from my knowledge, you're not supposed to be able to combine the two.
Not in any great amounts. But yeah, this is more than it should be possible to do.
So they're not being controlled. They're being controlled remotely without any way of gauging it.
Exactly. Any technology would just see this as like a hot sim or something. In fact, that's exactly what this is. This is an old hot sim box.
Is there any way to figure out where? Is there any way to understand where the components came from to maybe locate a source, or is this thing just kind of haphazardly put together?
Well, I mean, the hot sim is illegal as illegal as you can get right now. So, I could probably you could probably figure this out, or even I could if I went onto the black market. I mean, it's not going to be that difficult. I could do that for you. But yeah, it's probably just a sim from it's probably just an everyday on the street sim with a little bit of added tech to it, and then this magic somehow slapped into it. I'm not really sure how this works. I've not seen it before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Here's the other thing. It looks like it's actually connected to a nervous system. And he kind of points to the strings that are coming off of it, which means
Go ahead.
this would have given the person, at the very least, some kind of wired reflexes. In fact, it might have been continually being built upon. But notice this, and he pulls up this little, it looks like it's a ceramic disc on the end of one of the wires. He goes, I think I know what this is. Hand me that bowl, and he points to like this crystal china bowl on the side.
So I'll hand it to him.
Goes, he basically he puts it in water and he picks up like the butt of his of a screwdriver and he just slams it on it, and immediately fizzling like just green acid immediately erupts from it and just starts to eat away at the surrounding crystal. And it goes for a good 5-10 minutes, and then it just stops, and you see etched into the bowl is this perfect indentation where the acid reached for about an inch.
Guy's eyes kind of just.
Yeah,
Gnarly.
gnarly indeed. This would have dissolved any human body around it.
Which is exactly what happened.
Yeah, see, this isn't actually supposed to be a death match. I don't know where you've gotten that idea, but essentially, we're supposed to just be having fun. It's to test our skills, and, sure, some of us get killed, but it's not really something we strive to do.
Well, it seems that the guy who came to co-opt the disc from us seemed to have very little knowledge of what he was actually doing at the time. There was a code word that seemed to make him flip out.
Code word. Give it to me.
What was it?
It's Rednar.
Okay, Regnar.
No, it
Ragnar?
was Red Rum.
Red Rum.
No.
Okay.
No, it was not Red Rum. It was Ragnar.
Okay, Regnar. Yeah, it was Regnar. I remember now.
Ragnar. I've heard of that before. I don't remember where I've heard of it. He types something and he waits a second and goes, yeah, no one on my team's heard of it either. Give me a second. I know I've heard this before. Oh, look. I got this. I'll take care of figuring out what's going on here, okay? You guys go figure out that disc, alright? We'll meet back in a couple of days. By then,
Yeah.
I'll have an answer if I've backed off.
Do you have any suggestion about who can figure out this disc? Because we're at a loss.
Give me the disc. And also invite your friends in. I think I might be able to do something.
So I send a comm message to, like a text message. Come on in.
All right.
Alright, everyone can come in now.
All right.
Okay.
Meanwhile, all of you notice that a woman has been sitting on the roof, and as you move, she seems to stand up and just kind of go back to the other side of the roof.
All right. What does she look like?
Blonde, curly hair, pretty, pale white skin. Maybe an elf? I don't know. She's slender either way.
All right. I vision magnification, zoom in, take a picture.
Okay, you now have a picture of an elven woman walking away from you. Or at least she might look like an elf. You don't know.
Hmm.
Anyway, you guys get in, and not even, you all squeeze into the room, and not even 15 minutes later, the technomancer is just, or sorry, Archon is just smiling away, and goes, "I got it." He holds up the disc, and he goes, "You can play it now."
So
Alright.
let's play it.
Well, at first, it's exactly what's on the disc. It's music, really nice music for the time. It's got that orcish feel to it. It's very smooth and flowing, and just a little depressed. It's all very ballad-like, though, so it's not the normal stuff that Jet Black would do. And 2 or 3 songs in, that's all you're getting, when all of a sudden it just stops being music, and you hear a voice, and the voice says, "Okay, we're recording." And then you hear another person going, I don't even know what date it is. It's been too long since the attack. I know. But for the moment, let's just start at the beginning. Day 115 since the blackout. I don't know where we are, but we're currently in a facility under Karen's Studios. I don't know where that is, and if you ever actually happen to find this, you're probably just part of Karen's Studios anyway. But I'd like to explain what's been happening. There's suddenly a skip. Day 118. Attempting once more to insert substance G into the experiment. I don't know what this will do, but hopefully it will prolong the subjects' lives. Meanwhile, the technomancer is just kind of looking, sorry. I keep mixing up the technomancer with Archon. Give me a second. Archon kind of looks concerned, and he goes, "I don't know what this is. Let me see if I can clear it up." So he works a little bit harder, and pop. All of the songs erase, and you've got about 4 hours worth of information. And he kind of sits back and he smiles and he goes, "Well, do you want to go through it?" He motions at Nephenor.
Well, this is an awful lot of work, so let's get going.
Yep. So I'm going to skip you ahead 4 hours. Does anyone do anything significant in 4 hours?
Ragnar is occasionally using his radar and looking around.
Well, you notice that there is somebody in the basement and there is someone in the upper stories, and they move around just kind of like anyone else would, who's in a place they're comfortable with, but otherwise nothing that you should be worried about.
Is this a proper apartment?
Ragnar tells Archon that he saw a blonde woman running away, and that about the person in the basement in the upper stories. Are they supposed to be here, or?
Oh yeah, no, I know who that is.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He just kind of waves his hand. You'll meet her eventually.
Okay.
Okay, so I am going to ask a question. Is this a proper apartment, or is it just is it actually his house?
It seems to be actually a house that he owns.
Okay. So I'm going to go make some tea or coffee or some shit for the peoples. I'm pretty sure that some people need it.
Okay. So 4 hours go by relatively quickly, and here's what you glean from it. This is a record, or at least part of a record, about an experiment. Now, they don't really explain much because you haven't actually gotten the first part of it. But it sounds like the people who are working on it are becoming increasingly desperate. They're working on various subjects and inserting various types of substance into the subjects. The date they give towards the end places this about 3 years ago. They talk about a fresh group of subjects that have just arrived after being liberated from a toxic shaman, and how that interferes with their work.
Shit.
They do identify themselves at one point as Aztec employees. And one of the most bone-chilling is that they have found that 2 particular subjects seem to be responding well to a substance.
Shit.
Both are elven and of unknown age.
Well, shit.
I think we both know who those are.
And I think we understand why people wanted this disc.
The discussion continues, and you come to realize that on day 115, which you had just started to listen to, they kill about 20 of the people because they have mutated horribly. And have attempted to change 2 or 3 who are of mage usage into robots to see what that does. As the days go on, they describe things like slowly but surely transferring mages' limbs into cyberware and attempting to continue to tack the soul onto the cyberware and seeing how long that lasts.
Well, that is really fucked up.
It is. They continue to discuss that 2 of them seem to be rejecting cyberware entirely. That while they can cut off the limbs, they cannot seem to reattach limbs, and they're wondering if that's a side effect. And the 2 elves who are responding well to the what they call Serum G are continuing to bloom and blossom. The 4 hours later, the tape ends, having ended about a year ago. And he's discussing a breakthrough. And he says that he just wants to test it one more time, and then he'll put it down on paper.
So I think we all at this point look over at Kai.
Yeah.
I just kind of looks back. Very blank. And very sad.
Sad Kai.
Oh, so much sad.
Sad Kai.
Much
Sad Kai
sad.
is sad.
Much sad. Very emo. Wow.
Yes, much sad, very emo, wow.
And then, like, just a hint of sadness, and then rage.
So, rage.
So,
How does
yeah.
he express this rage?
Basically runs outside screaming and punching in a truck.
Well,
Archon just kind of stares.
yeah, I hide behind the large Minotaur because, you know, that makes sense. Because he's
When
a meat
Kai's
shield.
out of earshot and Archon's looking a little concerned there, I just turn to him and say, that's probably his wife and kid.
His wife and kids?
We're captured by Az technology, and
Yeah, those are the unknown subjects.
his brother obtained just enough information prior to this to know that they were alive.
Kai stops for only a little bit to pull out a pistol and blast the shit out of a random rat.
Well, I'm thinking none of us should go near him.
Oh, I
Or,
guess
or,
the guy's
or
got
both.
his dinner.
Well, okay, so the place said Karen Studios of some sort.
Yes.
So what's Karen's Studios exactly?
I don't know.
You
What
look at
is Karen Studios?
Archon and ask him.
I look over at Nephenor.
Archon shrugs. Well,
Do a fucking search.
I'm not your fucking Google.
here, let me look that up for you.
Here, let me.
Yes, you are my fucking Google search. You're the goddamn technomancer.
Mm,
Go Google
Look,
yourself.
can somebody get him to stop shooting things? I mean, I know it's the Barons, but it's kind of not something I want happening in front of my safe house.
I go
Oh.
run and wrap my arms around him and squeeze him, and the slaughter goes and pats him on the head and then gives him a neck massage.
Okay.
I don't think that's gonna work.
The dryad is hugging you, and the otter is trying to give you a neck massage, Kai.
I turn around briefly and, like, I guess I try to put my hand around her neck, but only very briefly.
Oh, so you like reach up and then you stop.
Kind of
when
like a
you realize.
PTSD reaction.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when I realize you're not going to choke me, I look sad.
So I go and I get the dryad. Like, no, it's good. No, it's kind of good not to fuck with him right now. Just don't. And I grab this and I grab his water and
But
and
clearly at this point you've kind of snapped out of it a little because you realize what you just tried to do.
okay, so I'm gonna go talk to Kai. I'm like, dude, listen, it's not gonna help if you freak out right now. We got to stay focused.
Dude, it's not going to help if I freak out right now because, dude, I just figured out that my fucking family was experimented on. Dude! I wonder, do I have a reason to freak the fuck out?
Yes, you can. You can certainly freak out, but it's not gonna get them. It's not gonna get them free any sooner.
Kai goes back emotionless again and rechambers a few rounds that he spent on the rat and puts it back into his vest.
I think, and you look up to see the blonde woman standing at the doorway. He has every right to be acting this way.
Well, yes, but if we shoot the fuck out of the safe house and near the safe house, then it will cease to be safe.
Yes, that is true.
Keep in mind that all of my weapons are silenced.
Oh, okay. Well, we didn't fucking know that. That would have been nice to know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Otherwise, I would not have engaged.
So a sound suppressor doesn't mean it's silent exactly.
Well, it's a suppressor out in the middle of a huge open area that doesn't really have much people in it, so...
Okay, you're not going to hear much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think he was more just worried about the whole, please don't be shooting things outside of my house, because... Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not get it direct attention.
Yeah. You know what? We can find some place for you to shoot the fuck out of later on. Get out some frustration.
I'm good.
Look, I think Archon has an idea, but you're going to have to come back inside. Are you okay to come back inside? Are we going to have to hold you down?
I'm
This
good.
is the woman. Alright, good. Because I really don't need you shooting him. I need him.
Oh, so she's the wife.
It's a very strange outburst, a huge outburst of rage, returning back to, total stonewallery.
Alright. So you come inside, and your search has turned up that Karen Records is, well, it's basically a really old company. It's the one that originally had Jet Black. And it's, other than that, you're really not able to tell what it was or what it is. other than it produced some records and then it went out of business after Jet Black got murdered.
How is Black again? This would be public knowledge.
Has the building been taken over?
No, it's still technically run by a record company, but it's a really low-end record company. Like,
What's the name?
the name is Vulture Studios.
Oh, of course it's Vulture Studios. Of course it would have to be named something like that.
Even funnier if it was like Tip Top Records.
So, Karen Studios is really past defunct, but it still has. But the studio's tower still exists, and there are still people within it, and they still function as a record studio.
One last thing. I have the ring. I have the ring of the guy whose head melted because we ripped for him. So I hand it to Archon and tell him to see what he can get from that.
Archon does a quick do-over, and he explores it, and can't really get much. What I can get is that this has definitely been tampered with.
All right.
He kind of turns it over. The software has a fail-safe, so unless it's been tampered with so heavily as to disarm the fail-safe, this ring either was not made with one, or it does not have one at this moment.
Huh. I told him we ripped it off the guy who melted.
Well, yeah, that might do it. I mean, there are other things that might do it, but yeah, the failsafe isn't actually active when you're, alive. And if the last thing this ring read about its person was that it was alive, it's not going to put the failsafe back on.
Okay, so whatever's on there is still good?
Yeah, at the moment. Now, if it doesn't receive a pulse within 24 hours, it's going to assume he's dead.
Okay, so can you hack it? Check what's on it?
Can I hack it? Of course I can hack it.
All right.
How much you gonna pay for it, though? No, I'm kidding, he says. He laughs. Kidding. Okay,
Right.
Hold on. So he takes about 15 more minutes to the person who did this wiped it pretty clean of any identifying marks. Not even my godhead can do much. What did you just whisper?
And so what's a godhead?
I don't know. What is a godhead?
So none of us know what the fuck that is?
It's a little shrinking head that little tribes in Africa use to boil down in their magical.
No, not quite. Can somebody do an occult roll? Nephenor, you can do this. Or not an occult roll. I'm sorry. I've been playing too much New WoD. Can somebody do some kind of magic roll? Any kind of magic roll will do, Technomancer included.
Okay, so just like a magic roll or a cult roll?
Yep. While you're doing that, though, he's continuing to speak. He basically looks over and goes, yeah, they've wiped it pretty clean. There's really no identifying marks. I'm sorry, guys. I'm at a loss for this one.
Magic roll? What magic roll? I'm trying to figure out where the heck that would be.
Since the last thing again, before the last person, since we ripped it from his hand while he was still alive and
It'd be either a sensing or...
Oh, hold on a moment. Sensing? I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll for that shit. Hold on, give me a second.
She's probably got a better chance of it than I do.
Yeah, for you it would be like a resonance plus your magic rating. Or sorry, your magic rating plus whatever skill you would use with magic. Okay.
Depends on what I'm looking for.
Ah, fucking.
What's your
Heck
highest
waffles.
one?
5.
Well, let's see. I'm just going through what I
You
got
all,
here.
you got 5 successes.
No, I only got one 5 and 1, and then a bunch of other useless shit.
All right. Well, a 5 is a success.
Well, there you go.
So remind me what you were looking for again. I'm sorry.
I guess any kind of thing to do with the ring, I guess. Or you said to do a magic roll, but that would be for psychometry, I guess.
That would be a psychometry. The godhead he's referring to, you've heard this talked about before. Essentially, he's a godhead is like the manifestation of a god within a person,
Oh, interesting.
and it actually is kind of an occult role. It can also be used to refer to an avatar of a god.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, it would. Yeah, it's residents. All right. So, here's what we do from here. All right. We're swiftly approaching the end, so I'm going to finish up your talk with Archon, and then we'll move on to the next set of information. Look, if your family is being experimented on, I think we need to act before we worry anything about this disc. I also think that now that the disc has been cracked, I'm going to have to take it to Damien. If this is something that As Technology is doing with its littler corporations, I think he needs to know.
Yeah, that might actually be a good idea right now. And
But here's the thing. Karen Studios is defunct, which means to get your family back, I'm guessing we're going to have to break into the proper Aztec Studios. Or As Technology.
we don't even know which Aztec building they're being held in, though.
We can safely guess it's going to be one near here.
Yeah.
Within Seattle.
Hmm.
But we're going to have to figure out where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, breaking and entering, my specialty.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
mine too. I can pick a lock.
okay. So that's why I'm saying with the Ascent with the ring, because it would have likely been the Azzies who tampered with the ring. In addition, if you want to do a sensing on the oh, okay, is there anything left of the head thing?
There is something left of the head thing. Yeah, if you guys have psychometry, this might help. Archon waves to it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I can't put me and my team in the way of fire.
Right.
Especially not without Damien say-so. So you guys can stay here and suit up and get all your information, but I'm sorry, I have to back out of this one. I just can't put us all at risk, not breaking into As Technology. But I could certainly help you and guide you if need be, okay?
Mm-hmm.
One thing is that Aztec is you know, if we're being chased by Aztec and we go onto an Ares corporate property, there's nothing Aztec can do without starting a costly and bloody war. So could you give us a pass to the Ares companies just so, you know, we have an escape route?
I can't promise you anything.
All right.
I will attempt it, but for the moment, you guys need to set up a run on an As Technology. And
All right.
Also,
basically,
keep in mind that giving up the CD means that Valen loses the round.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can't.
Yeah.
What happens exactly if you lose a round, though?
He dies.
Oh.
Yeah, we should not do that. No, we
We
can't do
can
that.
go up the CD, but we can let him take the information to Damien.
That would be acceptable.
Yeah.
So I think our first plan of action before we step foot towards the Azzies is finding the Lost Nirvana representative, so
All
that
right.
your guy can win the round.
All right.
Secondly, look, I'm not going to be able to go in and meet space, but I can set up some tech support for sudden backup.
All right.
So if things go south on any of your runs and you need help, go ahead and call me. I might be able to do something.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Yay.
So Rachel, you wanted to do a psychometry on the ring.
Well, that's what I had previously done. That was where I screwed up with my rolls.
Yeah, but you did the psychometry on the ring that your friend currently has on. This is the other ring.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought I was doing the psychometry on just now.
She did a psychometry on my ring.
No, she
No.
she did a psychometry on the CD disc. I'm sorry.
Yeah, previously.
Yeah, so did you do another psychometry while I was talking?
But yeah, that was the roll I was telling you about. I got 1-5, 1-1, and then the others are completely useless.
Alright, so you got one. The ring is on your hand, and it's swiftly moving through space. And you're holding it up, and you see a young girl, Elvin. She can't be more than 18. And you call out to her, and she turns around and she slices your hand off. And suddenly the hand is moving through space, and it's being taken off, and it's being turned over, and you can see that they're really thin fingers with blood all over them. And the ring beeps once, and then plunges into her skin.
Ew.
And the girl takes it off before it can do anything and just kind of drops it.
Yeah,
Then this is a ring from the guy. The ring gets picked up, it gets changed. You can feel it being altered, and then it's given to this guy, and the guy slips it on. That's the one that you're holding in your hand that is not on anyone.
Yeah, I tossed that fucker across the room.
Right.
Do not put that fucker on. Do not put that on under any circumstances. Ever.
Alright, now do you do the one on Darth's finger?
I can.
Darth, do you allow her to do that?
I'm gonna do another roll. I guess I have to do that. This one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I swear, if you glitch, I'm going to shoot you. But yes.
Okay. Fuck! Okay, please don't shoot me.
You
Please.
better roll edge.
A glitch does,
Okay, I'll use an edge, oh my god. Please just... I want to do a re-roll.
Okay.
God. Please don't fucking kill me, man. Really.
What do you
You
hit?
haven't been stroking off the dice god, have you, Rachel?
Get worse.
No, she's just been using that orgasm spell.
No, I get worse the second time around. Oh wait, no, never mind. Never mind. Oh, my second ones are underneath. Never mind. Shut up, Rachel. I got 2 6s and 1 1. And a 5.
Okay, so that's 3 successes.
Yes.
Alright, so at first it looks like she's about to screw up, but then she suddenly doesn't. And, You feel a slight tingle of magic, Kai. Rachel,
I
you
feel the tingly
see.
sensation.
Whoa, you
And
see.
it's not an orgasm spell.
No, it's not. What Kai sees is quite interesting. He sees, or sorry, yes, Kai sees something flash up before his eyes as the ring starts rewinding backwards. As if something's going on. And he sees a lot of blood and a lot of gore and women screaming.
Oh.
You, on the other hand, don't see that. What you see is a girl holding the ring up, and she's muttering to someone in the background, and she goes, "I think this is one of the blank ones." And you hear something in the background. It's another woman's voice, and she goes, "Yeah. I'll get it." And she pulls out a needle and she pricks her finger and she goes, "Okay, this should work. Let's hope it works." And then she takes the arm from your previous psychometry and she sticks the ring on there. And she goes, "Okay, well, it's the best I can do." Where did you say he was going to be? And then that's it. That's all you get.
Yeah, these rings don't seem to be that that friendly. Huh.
So,
That's strange because that seems a little bit more. That seems to be a little less clear than the other one when I somewhat did shitty. And this I got so.
So basically, what I saw was a miniature version of Saw.
yeah, you saw blood and gore and a woman just screaming at you and volcanic ash and just crushed bodies everywhere and running and just choking on volcanic ash, just choking and choking and choking.
So I'm thinking that the people who made these rings are probably Aztec.
No, I think they're just assholes.
Yeah. I'm not really sure about if I can trust these damn rings. I wouldn't put on any of you. None of you guys put these damn things on. You, sir, are fucked.
No, ma'am. The world is fucked.
All right.
Into it.
So it's been fucked for about 250 years.
Alright, so
Anyway. So, with that said, Archon says, so plan. You guys are going to find the Nirvana rep. The Nirvana
Yes.
rep is directly connected to Karen Studios. I can tell you that much. By all accounts, Karen Studios was in talks with the Nirvana Records to transfer Jet Black over when he died.
Right.
I don't know how this got on his last recording, but it's pretty scary.
Wait a minute. Didn't he die a whole lot of years ago?
Yeah, like 50.
So somebody was using his last means to get the thing about Aztec out. And that's why Aztec is hosting the round, so they can get the disc back.
Maybe? I mean, it's not like it's a super mystery that Aztec does this kind of stuff. I mean, they're blood ritualists, for Pete's sakes.
Yes, but that's not public knowledge.
I guess it's not public knowledge.
Anybody who is anybody knows that, but if
Well, I
somebody,
mean, you don't usually just go and take people off the street. I mean, and start performing experiments on them.
usually it's also done on Usually Aztec does this on prisoners of war and criminals. The word goes out that they're kidnapping the family of high-ranking officials, of businessmen and such.
Yeah, I guess that would be a bit difficult, but they never actually name. They never actually name your family, do they? He turns to Kai.
No, but it's enough to piss me off.
All right, look. I don't know why you got involved in this, but clearly somebody wanted you to get involved without you knowing you were getting involved.
That's real specific there, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I need to get back on the net. My brain's kind of getting fried out in meat space. Look, you guys need a place to crash. I've got a couple spare bedrooms. Stay here for the night. We'll work on this in the morning, okay?
Okay.
What do you guys think? Should we stay or should we go?
Should I say or should I go now?
No, we're staying here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's stay here. It seems a nice place, and it's cool, and it's not damp like Ragnar's place probably is.
Yeah.
You live in a damp cave. I don't know what that says about you in terms of what Freud would say.
Was I the only one that actually got a living space?
Yeah, actually,
Well,
you and Otter.
Well, Otter's living
Well,
space.
I'm actually squatting in a building, an empty building. So
My living space is best
that
dumpster.
is basically falling apart. But I mean, I'm in the part that it seems to be sturdy.
All right, so I can't really do goal specific XP for everyone, but let's see. Who moved the story along the most today?
Darkstar probably.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious he did.
Well, then again, everything sort of centers around him.
Yeah, like it seems like it's the Dark Star show.
Well, Darkstar
Nothing's bad. It's just
Darkstar gets the honor of being the first of the many I'm going to torture in this game.
I don't even remember how much XP I got from last game, and because I can't log anything into my
Tremor.
character sheet. Yeah,
I've got it, and once I can figure out that tremor issue, I'll be sure to give it to you. Right now, you're sitting at about 7 or 8 XP. Okay.
Karma.
7 or 8 karma. Anyway. So, who was the funniest this game?
I don't know.
This is pretty curious.
I don't know. The whole I'm going to hug the serial murderer. I'm going to hug the man who just found out that his wife and child were experimented on with an otter. Was interesting.
I'd say that qualifies as the bravest thing.
Yeah, so let's go with 1 point for the bravest thing.
I do have a question though. Are we gonna have different things dealing with our character development as we continue on in these other adventures?
Yes.
Okay.
Kai basically has the most fully fleshed out and developed, so he gets the honor of going first just because his is the easiest to slot into this.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, I mean, since my character's mother is like a Shadowrunner, you can insert her as you will.
Yes,
Or-
and that will come up. Trust me.
I don't know if I gave her a name. Probably something like Kaoru or something.
We're not quite off air yet, so I'm not going to discuss intimate details, so I won't ruin it for everyone. But we will have a discussion, okay?
Yay!
Alright, so. Yeah, I could get into proper hacking. So, anyone else have anyone who who stood out this session who needs XP?
No, I said
Actually,
dude
I'd like
inappropriately.
to tell Scruff basically if he hadn't have given the If he had not have given me the little device thing, we wouldn't have moved along quite as quickly.
That's right. I did. I did make sure to keep along both the both the ring and the I remembered to keep the cybernetics and such from the big guy. Which, yeah.
Also, I keep doing my psychometry thingies.
Yeah, so Scruff, you go ahead and take an XP. Otter, you've got an XP already. You did something I saw as standout. You actually started to ask questions of the NPC. So that's definitely something I want to encourage you to do. So take another XP for that.
Okay.
Because you're getting involved. John, you hauled that body and those body parts around like no one's business. You were the best body part hauler in the world. So you go ahead and take that XP.
I already got one XP.
Well, I have some plans though for the future though. I really do. I have some plans, some funny plans.
That's one
And
XP.
Nephenor was kind of in the background for the game. Does anyone have anything for Nephenor?
I was in the background. That was my job.
Yes, it
Nephenor
was.
is Google, so I mean, we really wouldn't get far without that.
Let me search that for you.
Fair enough. One
I don't want to be your Google.
By the way, is that 1 XP overall or 2 XP?
That's 2 XP overall.
Okay.
Alright, guys. So I gotta go because I gotta get to bed.
I require sustenance.
Make sure to
good
end the
night,
stream
everybody.
before you end, or
I
before
know.
you leave.
I'm not leaving. I'm going to say goodnight to everyone on the stream.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Archon, for coming. The thrilling conclusion to everything will come in a long time, but if you guys want to continue to watch, just go ahead and subscribe. We do this every Sunday night starting at 7 EST. Thank you for watching. Thank you for playing, guys.
Will Perkoski or whatever, he's enjoying it too, so
Okay.
shout out to him.
Yay. I'm going to end this call now. Not end the call, end the broadcast, okay?